Part of the show with us talking about the the hole in the wall gas stations down south
and Chico sticks.
What Greg Knight said? He said, "I'm sweeter and thicker than the Chico stick." I think that was that Sometimes I Rhyme Slow? I think that was Sometimes I Rhyme Slow. I think that was the song.
You would know better than me.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't heard that song in a while. I gotta see if it's still in my library.
I'm sure it's still in your library. You like music, so
yeah.
And you definitely old school.
Yeah. In a lot of cases, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
My old school is not your old school.
But I mean, I got some of that too. You know, I got several decades of old school. You know, so I have I got playlists. So I got a classic soul playlist, right? So that got all my 70s and 80s stuff on there.
Okay.
And then I got and I'm talking about just talking about R&B, so classic soul. So my R&B got early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Mm-hmm. all the way on down the line. You know, and a couple like newer, 2010, late 2010 stuff, but a lot of stuff before that. So so my stuff spans from like the 70s all the way down to the 2010s.
That's me too. Yeah, that's me too. I have to say that. Yeah. I'm really thinking about my music choices. Yeah. Probably even further back than that, because I'm a Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald person. I like, so yeah. I like Frank Sinatra, so my music is like this long.
Oh yeah. Gotta be. Gotta be. That you have to cover all of that. Oh yeah, gotta be.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Week.
Yeah. So good evening if you're watching live, grand rising if you're watching in the morning, good afternoon if you're watching after 12 noon. Welcome to Astoria Story, brought to you by the Ransburg International and the Seven Spheres of Money. I'm Nick Westbrooks, and of course I'm with the Queen, QueenAstoria.
I'm here.
She's here in the building. So this is I actually before I made the link for this, I went back and I counted the shows, and it looks like we are on episode 10.
Whoa, 10 in. 10 equals 1. So what does that mean?
I mean, we already. I mean, we know that the meaning of the number 1 never changes.
Exactly.
It's always going to represent. It's always going to be that fire. That take charge number, that number that's in the lead, that that number that doesn't come second to anything or anybody. That dominant, forceful number. That's the number 1. It never changes. It never changes.
Right? I know. Yeah. I know it never changes. It's just interesting that it's episode 10 and it equals 1. Like, it's just, numbers always speak to me and intrigue me. My birthday is 10. I just random things that other people don't pay attention to. Was not random to me, but things that people don't necessarily equate to have so much more meaning. So This was gonna be one of them dope shows. I mean, not that every show is not dope, but
right, exactly. You got a point there, because I didn't decide to count the shows last week or the week before. I decided to count the shows today to see what number we were on, because I haven't been numbering them. I think I numbered like shows like episodes 2 through 4, and then I stopped numbering. Well, I forgot to number them again after that. So I'm like, wait a minute, what number are we on now? I'm like, oh, okay, we on number 10. So that's where we at. So Astoria, how you feeling? How you doing? How was your weekend? All of that?
well,
How you feeling? How you doing? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you doing? How you feeling? 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 How you doing?
My weekend was good. I was in Atlanta for a wedding. One of my really good friends from college got married. So that was absolutely amazing. So good to see people that you haven't seen in a while. And just, celebrate some Black love. It's always good to celebrate Black love. So that was dope. But yeah, other than catching up on everything that I should have been doing when I took my laptop to Atlanta, other than that, we pretty much, same old, just a different day.
Okay, I feel you. So were you just an attendee, or were you actually in the wedding?
I was in the wedding. I was on bridesmaid duty.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how was that process? Because I know it's it varies when you ask different women, it kind of varies depending on how detailed and extravagant the bride is.
Well, my friend is super chill. So in actuality, the only thing she said was order your dress, wear gold shoes, I'll provide the earrings or like y'all jewelry or whatever. We was like, cool. And she's not a picky person. I mean, she's just super chill. Like most chill person you could ever meet. We honestly just kicked it like we were in college until it was time for her to walk down the aisle. That's what was funny, and her husband, like I'm about to say her fiance, her husband now, he just was like, he posted something saying that he didn't know how quickly we were going to like accept him into our group. And he's like our brother now. Like we like, Corey, what you doing? Huh? Like he just what part of the crew. So we kicked it, we had fun. As safely as possible. It was a nice size wedding party, for sure. But the venue was open. There was a lot of space, so we had a good time. I ain't gonna complain. I had a good time. I have been in so many weddings, and this was probably the most relaxed wedding. Plus, I didn't have to do no hair.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'm glad everything was pretty chill and pretty smooth. I've heard I've definitely heard some stories. Some stories about the bride not being so chill, and then also about the bride being really extravagant and having all sorts of activities and stuff leading up to the actual wedding day.
Nah, I mean, Kobe kind of put a damper on that because we would have had her bachelorette party for her birthday in August. So I think a few friends went with her to out of town. We had a brunch at her house, as a bridal, I don't know what you call it, like the rehearsal brunch. That's what you call it. And then we had rehearsal at the venue, and the next day was wedding. It really wasn't nothing. But we some kick it chill friends anyway. So like, while everybody's like, well, why y'all ain't go out and hang out? We was like, we did. We hung out at the house and drank wine and reminisced over life and had karaoke, singing. Like that's the kind of stuff we do. We not, come on, we 30 some years old now. We not trying to party like we 20 no more. We good.
Right. Yeah. That's great. I think that's really, really dope that, it was, I mean, not, of course, obviously the Black love happening, but of course the process just being so laid back and chill. I think that, that made the experience even better. It's interesting that you mentioned that. I did remember that you mentioned to me that you were going down to Atlanta for that wedding. I just happened to come across an article last night that I read about Black marriage, and it's a book that just came out last month in October. Just pulled up the article. The title of the article says, "New book claims the destruction of Black relationships is, quote unquote, America's unrecognized civil rights issue." And the name of the book is called Black Women, Black Love, and it's by Diane Stewart.
Let me get. You know what? You see why I be having to have a pen when we.
I mean, I can send you the stuff. Yeah. I could send this to you. You know, that's no.
You see why I take notes and stuff when I when we have conversations, because I be having to go back and look at stuff.
That's no problem. I'll send it to you right now, so I don't forget, because I got it open. Yeah. So I came across that article because the headline kind of jumped out to me. I get these email newsletters every day with articles from various news sites. This one came from The Root, and the headline was on the email newsletter, and it just kind of stuck out to me. So Diane Stewart, she examines marriage from historical, economic, social science perspective, and she just gives her analysis on women's experiences with marriage. So I thought that was interesting topic there, interesting book that I saw there. And I was reading through the comments, because I haven't really read I read a lot of books, but I haven't really read books on this topic. But just reading some of the comments from the other readers, it sounds like this is a common topic that is written about as far as books and literature goes. So and she also mentions in the article that some of the publishers actually rejected it because she was just rehashing a topic that's been discussed so many times already. So and then another thing that I saw in there that was interesting, I mean, which is a fair point. Women do tend to read these books and buy these books at a bigger rate than men, but oftentimes these books are targeted towards women often.
So I can't wait to actually read this article, and I think I probably am gonna get the book on audiobook and start listening to it. I gotta put it on the bucket list of things because I have my own opinions about relationship and marriage and stuff, and most people think that I'm weird, and so or that I'm kind of like, what? So, and it's interesting you say that because one of the photographer at the wedding, me and him are his wife is one of our friends, that's in the wedding, that we grew up, that we went to school with, and we literally talked about this. Like we were literally having conversation about marriage and relationship. And so it's interesting that this is kind of like a reoccurring again. So this is, to me, like, go to a wedding, right? 1, you have to talk about relationship, whatever, right? 3, here's another art. So, I look at things and I'm like, okay, something is clicking. Let me do some more research. But it's just real interesting that you brought that up. I almost kind of agree with a little stuff that you've said so far, as far as like, her, especially the title, The Destruction of Black Relationships, America's Unrecognized Civil Rights Issues. Like that right there is just deep in itself. It make you want to be like, hold on, wait a minute. What? What's happening? But at the same time, I think I've read a couple of books from different authors and follow a lot of different I'm gonna say social activists that always talk about the destruction of the Black family. So i.e. Black relationships, Black marriage has always been a part of the agenda. And you know what I mean when I say the agenda, I'm just gonna say it like that. It's always been a part of the agenda. So I just think it's interesting that we're talking about it, in this moment, in this space, when we're going through this huge transition of everything. I'm not talking about the presidential stuff or anything like that. just in general, the way the world is changing, where we have been in a patriarch system for so long. And for the last couple of years, you can see a matriarch system happening. Like you can see that women are, especially Black women are entrepreneurs, creating more small businesses, creating more business, more money, circulating more things than ever before. And we're talking about the destruction is in a relationship. You think about how many women put their relationships and their lives on hold for their businesses, for all that. Like, is that the agenda?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, and also what's interesting thing about it is that it's the agenda can be multi-pronged and multifaceted. So we of course we never have an issue, pointing out the the problem and the root of the problem. It's the solution that's the hard part, to not only think of but to put into action. But when we talk about the problem, there's several reasons, several sources that may be related or may have the same core, but that's the thing about it. It's never just one thing. Like this is the one issue that's the reason for the quote unquote agenda or destruction of Black love or Black marriage.
Yeah.
And people kind of get caught up in arguing over what the problem is or what the root of the problem is when it's all of it.
Yeah. I think you made a valid point. We don't focus on the solution. And so we had this whole conversation, we had a couple of episodes over traumas and healing and holistic healing, right? And this goes right in line with that. I realized in myself that I have to heal. I had to heal a lot of things, but I had to heal not only the relationship that I see with my father, right? That I see my mother and father, see my relationship with him, but also any other male relationships around me. Like you have to really sit with yourself and heal those traumas, because most of the time you react to the person. Let's say you get involved in a relationship, right? You're going to react to the person, not because of really what they did, right? Because it could be something so simple. It could be like the smallest little thing, right? But it irks you. That's not what it is. A trigger point of a trauma of something that happened to you. And that's why you are so like irate, or you get upset and you go through these things. Or simple for me, I could say it's because I deal with people's energy all day, and then I could bring that home to my partner, right? So if you around somebody all day long, right, and they talking negative and they doing whatever, you ain't even mad. You got a happy day. You had a best day of your life, right? But subconsciously, unconsciously, you're absorbing all of those things. You take it home to your partner. They could do one thing, trigger point, right? Healing those traumas. And I think a lot of that affects the relationships that we have with people, because we are literally walking, ticking time bombs from different things that trigger us. So the reason why the relationship is like that don't really matter. Let's figure out how do we fix it. It's always healing. The answer is always healing. What did Yanla say? Fix your life. You got to do the work. Mm-hmm. But nobody want to do the work. Nobody wants to do the work.
I think that's what it pretty much comes down to, because they realize that the work is hard work. It's not easy work. So it's like you have the solutions. What's the solution? What's the solution? You know what to do. It's just, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to put in the work that it takes to heal? That it takes to heal. And it's interesting that you mentioned the relationship with your parents and your father in particular. We actually had our last guest on Nick's Knowledge and Notion series, not this past Friday, but the Friday before last, friend of mine from college, Ishna Hagen, aka Ishna Wakil, she's actually spoke about that because she wrote a chapter in this book or an essay in this book about father-daughter relationships. It's called Daddy. Reflections of father-daughter relationships, and you know, she particularly spoke about how her father always provided for her financially, but didn't show her much affection. So you know, so that was just her story. Now, and I believe there's, you know, there's several others. There might be about, I think about seven or eight other essays in there written by women about their relationships with their fathers. And you know, that was a really great conversation. If anybody missed out on that, you know, definitely
going back to watch it.
Go back and check that out. Yeah, that was a really powerful conversation there. You know, for sure.
Yeah. But, that's interesting. I mean, so it's crazy because as I matured and got older in life, I mean, I think I shared this before with you. My dad's an entrepreneur, owned his own business, all that good stuff. You know, always provided for our family, no issues, none of that stuff, right? And so I come from a 2-parent household, and so when people see that, right, they're like, "Oh, both of your parents are in your life," and da-da-da. And I'm like, "Well, my dad's a provider. That's what he does. Did he instill great things in me? Yes." But me and him even had a conversation one time when he was like, looking at my mom, I think was like cleaning up trophies or something. I can't remember what she was doing. She was just like cleaning stuff. And he was like, "I never realized like how many track meets you won, like how many medals you had, how much ballet recitals and just stuff that you do as a kid that you excel in, right? But if you have a person that's working on the business and growing and helping for the family, you know what I'm saying? They don't, in the moment, you don't realize that. It's later on. Like I want to say it was probably after I had graduated from college. I was about to graduate. And we had this conversation, and it was just interesting. And so when I say those traumas, those are things that you have to heal from. It's an abandonment that you don't even think about. It's a type of abandonment, right? Doesn't mean that the person wasn't there, right? It was just a different type of abandonment. So when I think about things that I do now that I excel at, let's just say, for example, if a partner didn't show up to something that I felt was important to me, doesn't mean that they weren't doing something that wasn't just as important, right? But if they didn't show up, if I had not healed, right, or if I was still holding on to that trauma, I am going to react in a childlike manner because I would be upset about what happened prior that didn't have anything to do with this person, right? They could have just missed one thing. And I'm like, "Oh my God, but you never showed up to," that's not what that means. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm going to have to go back and watch this because that's some interesting conversations. And all of the things that you deal with in your life affect how you deal in relationships and your marriage and things like your marriage, your love life, all that.
Yeah. Definitely check that out. It was a really powerful conversation. You know, of course, you know, we had DJ there, and he's a father. You know, he has he has I know he has 4 kids, but I know 2 sons and 2 daughters, 3 sons.
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 boys.
Yeah.
1 girl.
1 girl. Okay. Yeah. So he does. But I know it's at least 1 girl in there.
Yeah, it's one baby girl in there. It's 1 baby girl.
Yeah. So that was definitely a great conversation there, for sure. Yeah. But that was just something that I was just scrolling through my email, popped up. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So, and I've been tapping into a lot of those topics and conversations, especially within the last year or two. So, it's interesting to see and hear what people are talking about and what they're perspectives are.
I think the male and the female perspective is definitely interesting too. So I think I get two sides of it because I'm going to say two separate sides. One of my really good friends and client, she's a divorce attorney, right? Like that's what she do for a living. And she's been doing it for, gosh, I know like 7 years. But this past year, she got married and had a baby, bought a house all in the same year, and all during COVID, like everything. Like from she was already pregnant, right? They were gonna get married anyway. You know, it was like already all these things that were happening. And COVID hit on top of that, and she's a divorce attorney. And so I don't think people realize how the dynamic changes for an attorney, especially a divorce attorney, right? So you are trying to hold your own life together, right? But you see so much negativity from people battling with each other. And me and her had this same conversation. Just she sees so much, it's almost sometimes, you know, you have to like take a step back. And her husband is very understanding, but you have to have an understanding partner that knows, like, honey, it's not me, right? Like, as in, like, he didn't do nothing to her. The day that she had dealing with other people's emotion, not that she didn't have a great day, you know, productive day, made money, whatever, right? But the emotional impact that it takes on a person. They have to like step back for a second because she got to still love on her child and love on her husband after whatever other people's emotions got going on. You know what I mean? So I think the dynamics all around are important. And I think that the male versus female perspective plays a big role in it, because what females don't necessarily realize a lot is that males are not as complex as we are. We naturally, women just overthink everything. Like, we have already made up some kind of conclusion in our mind before we even had a conversation with you. Like, naturally, that's our human biogenetic system does that. Whereas a man is like, well, I'm just hungry, so I'm gonna go get something to eat. Babe, what you want to eat? Here we go. I don't know. I think I want chicken, but I think I want and the guy's just like, I just want to eat. I don't care what we eat. Just feed me. Right? Something so simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's literally reality.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to have that as one of the starting points too, to acknowledge that men and women are wired, you know, different, you know, biologically, and you know, we need to have those interpersonal communication knowledge and skills, and actually practice them, because I believe that could definitely you know, prevent a lot of the miscommunications and unnecessary arguments about you know, certain things. If we you know, start with a basic understanding of how, you know, women communicate and how men communicate, and what each party expects from one another in terms of communication, because that's it sounds cliche, but communication is key.
Communication is key. It's so important. I mean, you just made me remember like one of the biggest lessons learned from my last relationship. And it was a great relationship, you know. Nothing bad, nothing like that. But one of the things that made our relationship so easy was if I would come home and I had a long day, whatever. Let's just say I was upset because I probably wasn't upset, but I was like, well, you been at home all day, you didn't cook, or something simple, right? First thing he would always say is, you know, you really don't have an issue with me. You have an issue with yourself. Something is happening. So when you get done with that, I'll be in the living room, right? And to someone else that is really insecure, they're gonna be like, what he say? What? Me, I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm just dealing with everybody else's emotions from the day. Kind of what I just said earlier, you know, just I'm empath, I'm taking on everybody's emotions. After I, you know, take my shower, decompress, woosah, whatever, Now I'm ready to have a regular conversation or talk about my day or whatever it is, right? And that was one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn in my relationship. Because at first I was like, that's crazy. But I had to take a step back and look and say, you know what? He right. Like, I ain't really mad because he ain't pick up something off the floor. Well, am I really mad about that? Probably not. Right? That's probably not what's happening. I'm not mad because there is one plate out of place. Right? There's some underlining whatever that's happening. So that's a biggest lesson. Biggest lesson is making sure that I leave whatever, at the table or outside, decompress, and don't bring other things into the relationship that don't even matter. Like, that doesn't have anything to do with you two as a couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's great that he was able to, separate himself from that and to not take it personal, because he could, he could have taken it personal, like like you were, like you had an issue with him, maybe he thought you remember something from a long time ago, and and you taking it out on him, and yeah, but he did it. He didn't do that.
Capricorns don't do that. We don't hold grudges. Cancers, they hold a grudge, honey. They will hold a grudge. They will get you back when you least expect it. But me, this Capricorn over here, honey, I done forgot about it 10 minutes after it done happened. We having a whole, we having a whole, I could have been mad at you 5 minutes ago. Now we having a whole happy-go-lucky conversation about something totally different.
Right. Yeah.
We just naturally, Capricorns naturally just don't hold grudges. Our personalities just don't, it's not important, right? Whereas Cancers, which, yeah, my niece is a Cancer. It's so interesting how she gets me back for things sometimes. I'll be like, girl, that was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, right, yeah, but but like I said, I'm glad he didn't, he never took anything personal. That definitely I'm sure that avoided a lot of problems, by him not taking things personal. And you're definitely right about not holding grudges. I would say I don't hold grudges, but if I know something wasn't rectified properly, I'm still going to remember it. If
but you don't get the person back. You just treat them with a long spoon.
Grudge. Oh, right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you definitely got to make sure you make that. I made sure I made that distinction. Yeah, I know. I'm never worried about getting people back, but I am going to remember something if an apology wasn't delivered or changed behavior wasn't delivered. I'm definitely going to remember that and act accordingly.
Right.
According to that. So yeah.
Interesting, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, for sure.
Man, I just realized we didn't even talk about Money Mondays, and then we went right into it.
Oh yeah, we did say we freestyling again. So yeah, we can so let's definitely jump back to that, since it sounds like we got a good, ending point on that topic.
I think so.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and talk about Money Mondays.
Okay. Well, this week, Money Mondays, I had my brother on there. My brother from another mother, JG Bowie. Awesome guy. He is he used to be in mortgages and financial services and stuff like that. So, started off insurance, whatever, worked his way through. And so we just talked about like the housing market now, the top things that you need to do in order to purchase a home, right? And different types of loans. And we had a couple of questions, which was really cool. So if you're interested in those things, definitely check that out. The cool thing about what he does now is he is a videographer / photographer. I think he does great photography, but he does not like still shots. He loves videography much more, which is fine. You know, everybody have their passions and their likes. And so he just talked about the transition, you know, from that into his personal stuff that he likes doing now. Yeah, so we kind of connected the dots when it came to all those things, and yeah, just made it work. It was a great show. So you guys, if you're not already tuning into Money Mondays, you need to tune into Money Mondays on IGTV Live. It's normally at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's always reposted in the IG. I guess that's IGTV, right? So if you don't catch it live, you can catch it later. Yeah, it was. Here's what's funny though. I did post earlier that day, like, I'm so thankful that I work with people that are flexible, how I am, because my flight from Southwest changed my flight twice from Atlanta. So I was supposed to leave at like 3 something, so I would have been back by 6. It's only a 2-hour flight. With the time changing everything, I would still been back in enough time. But I didn't leave Atlanta until 5:50. And it was supposed to be delayed, but then the plane ended up coming in on time. So by the time I leave Atlanta and get back home, we didn't get started till 8:30. So kind of like how me and you are, we're pretty flexible when it comes to the shows and stuff. But it made me really appreciate the fact that I work with a lot of flexible people, but people that are also committed to the same stuff that I'm committed to. Like if we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. And as long as we communicate, it's all good, you know?
Oh yeah. Yep. That's important. Yep. Definitely important. So that Money Mondays is you got the YouTube channel too. So that'll be going up on the YouTube channel as well, right? At some point.
Hopefully. I have not been consistent with getting back on YouTube. I think mostly because it's very hard to upload from IG to Instagram. I mean, from IG to YouTube. Like, it takes up so much space on your phone to save it and then transfer it. It's like
download the video. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. So I think that I'm just going to, unless I can figure out how to integrate both at the same time, and I have not figured it out. Like, I don't know how you can stream, like how we're streaming to YouTube and Facebook. I don't know how to stream to Instagram. If I can figure out how to do that, then we would get on YouTube, get back to YouTube.
Yeah, right. So, I don't think there's a system or a software that does that for on the mobile thing, like Instagram. Instagram doesn't even have that feature where you can stream to, you can use a streaming service and it streams to Instagram. Like, you just have to stream through Instagram. So exactly. The only way that would work, without you downloading the video and re-uploading it on YouTube is to maybe have your computer open and doing like a Zoom at the same time or something.
I ain't about to do it. I'm not about to make it happen. It's not happening. That's too much work. Yeah. But while we're talking about technology, let me just throw it out there. Are you a Twitter person? Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Did you see Twitter got the new, what they call it? What is it called at the top?
What, reels?
What is it called? But you can post. You can post like you in a story. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's called I got it up here now.
Let me see.
This thing it's called
Fleets.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm talking about fields and reels and I'm getting mixed up with Instagram. Instagram got the reels.
Yep. Fleet. I was like, okay, Twitter, come through Twitter, because I like Twitter because Twitter I can like pretty much post things. Like, I don't have to think about like putting a picture with the caption and all that stuff. I can type the words out that I'm thinking at that moment and shoot it off, right?
Right.
So now I'm like, yes, I can tweet. I'm sorry, I can fleet.
You fleet. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
I just have to throw that in there since we talked about technology for a second. I mean, technology is on the move, honey. On the move.
Yeah, I watched my cousin Ramsey's fleet earlier today, and then he was like he was sitting there trying to figure out what the post on the fleets now, because he has Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then he's like, well, Instagram has now turned into the marketplace, and Twitter has become Instagram now. So I don't know what I'm supposed to post on there.
Yes.
Instagram got updated too. Instagram is, got some new stuff going on, new interface, and then, Instagram and Facebook, they together. So they integrated between those two even more with the messaging things.
Right.
So it's a lot going on.
Right. It's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, all I know is that quite a few people been complaining about that Instagram update. I mean, I know it does look different, does look a little weird.
I don't like it. It looks so weird. I'm praying. So I got one phone that hasn't updated, and I got one phone that updated. And I'm like, please don't update this other phone. Like, take the Instagram update off because it is stupid. I think I'm just gonna go to Twitter and be done.
Yeah, it's definitely strange. It's definitely interesting what they did there.
I don't know what they did there. They did something strange for a piece of change. That's for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why? I'm looking like, why? Why is the notifications at the top now?
Yeah. It's slightly ridiculous, okay? I will say that. Slightly ridiculous. But hey, what do we do, right? We're gonna adapt and we're gonna continue to use it for sure.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's definitely not like we're gonna rebel and be like, we boycotting.
Wait, the Instagram update on Android is different from iPhone.
Oh God! See now you done threw me off with something else now.
I'm just telling you, like the update is a little bit different. Like y'all notifications changed around and stuff like that, but for ours, what I don't like is it takes. Let's say somebody did a video or something like that. Sometimes it takes longer for it to load. Like if that makes sense. Like it looks blurry, and then it'll come through, and it's like, what? I don't want to wait 5 seconds to figure out what this look like. I just want to see it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't like it. I'm not feeling it. I'm just gonna say it like that. I ain't feeling it. I'm over it for sure. And I don't like, this is me getting in on technology tonight, but anyways, I don't like that I used to could link all of my Facebook pages to my Instagram pages, and now it only lets you do a certain number. You know what I mean? Like, so my personal page, right, will only link to my personal Instagram page will only link to my personal Facebook. I can't go back and link my business Facebook to my Instagram Facebook, if that makes sense. Like, because you know how you can switch between on your Instagram, so you can post between multiple at a time. It won't let you, like, makes you log out and log back in every single time. It's annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was the other thing that happened with the update. I'm just like, look, wow. I can't. Yeah, I'm over it. I think I'm just gonna tweet. I think I'm just gonna be a fleet. I'm gonna be a fleeter and a tweeter.
Yeah. Just hope they don't do nothing else. Like, no, just keep it like this. Don't add nothing else. Don't do nothing else. Just keep it like this, Twitter.
Please.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else on your mind tonight that you want to deal with before we get out of here?
Not tonight, man. That relationship piece right there got me. I'm really gonna be, I'm literally about to read this article, probably get the audiobook, even though I already downloaded 2 audiobooks I'm supposed to start tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna get on this. Because I want to start Barack Obama's President Barack's book, but listen, 700 pages is 29 hours.
Over 700 pages, more like closer to 800.
Yeah, true. But I just mean on audiobook when I downloaded, it said 29 hours. And I was like, okay, we're gonna have to break this up. This is a month-long read. This is, normally, I could read a book in a week or so because it's like 9 hours or 7 hours. Back to and from the work, you don't read a book in a week.
Yep.
29 hours? Shoot. I'm gonna be riding my bike listening to this book. And I really want to concentrate and like be all in. But yeah, it's probably gonna be a research type of night. So nothing really. And that means next week after I've read it and digested and came up with some more stuff on this Black relationship. And I rewatch your episode too. That might be the conversation.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan for sure. Yep. Sounds good to me. I think. You think you have some adequate homework there to do. I'm continue doing mine. Having my hands in so many different topics of interest that definitely being one of them. And we can definitely come back and do a follow-up for sure. Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and do your closeout, how you do.
Well, as you know, you need to tune in to Money Mondays every Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on IG Live. Definitely tune in here every Wednesday night. I won't even tell you what time. Just know we'll be up here on Wednesday night.
Click the bell. Click the bell. That way you get the notification.
Yep. Click the bell. Get the notification. Subscribe, like, share. Tune in on Friday nights for Nick's Knowledge and Notions. That's every Friday night. At what time?
8 o'clock Eastern Time.
8 o'clock Eastern Time. Nick is consistent. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But go ahead and click the bell so you can get those notifications as well, so you know exactly when we're coming on. And if you're not following us, go ahead and follow. You can follow me at Miss_Story on Instagram. And all my business links and stuff are on my Instagram page, or you can follow me on Facebook. You can find me Astoria. Oh, look at that. You can find me Astoria Stubbs. I mean, who else has a name like Astoria or has hair like me or anything? I'm pretty much the same. And Nick, you can follow Mr. Westbrook. Okay. Mr. Westbrooks. That's his name on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm putting it in the banner too while we closing out. That's Miss_Story, right? Yes, MS_STORI.
All right. That would be me.
All right, boom.
There you go. That's how you can find us. Like, share, connect with us. And of course, if you're looking for financial education, anything like that, definitely investments, all those things. Make sure you're following the 7 Spheres of Money on Instagram and Facebook. And you can find us at 7 Spheres of Money here on YouTube, of course, where you're at right now. And then it's DJTheMoneyCoach.com. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I'll put that in there. It's in the description, but I'll put it in the banner as well.
All the links, all that stuff is down below in the descriptions. But there you go.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. Of course, thank you for joining us. And as always, how we close out, as always, we wish you a pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind, and come join us on the beaches of the world. Yep. So until our next show on Friday, and until you receive communications from us, we got the promotions coming up for I want to call it Black Friday. I'll call it Black November because the Black Friday then turned into the whole month of November. Yeah. Look out for those promotions that are coming soon. You need to jump on that email list in order to get those, though. So, if you go to djthemoneycoach.com and put in your email, you can receive those notifications about those offers and those specials that are going on. So, until then, until you receive the next communication from us or see it on the next broadcast, we wish you health, wealth, and knowledge of self.
Health, wealth, and knowledge of self. There you go, baby.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.